Hey y'all, this Octavius Great coming through with another video. All right, y'all. Y'all know there's things going down between Russia and the Ukraine. All right, if y'all saw my video yesterday, um, this guy named Ward Clandestine off of Twitter put up a couple of things talking about why Russia is really in the Ukraine. Okay, we heard there were biolabs um, in the Ukraine, at least 11 of them. And that's one of the reasons why Putin is doing what he's doing, on top of those two provinces in Ukraine claiming their independence and claiming they want to be back with Russia. All right, y'all, let's start. All right, Ukraine could not even join NATO because France and Germany was against it. Members of NATO must vote unanimously. NATO laws state you can't join if you already have border disputes. Russia is already in Crimea. Now why this war since there's no reason? All right. German economy minister Habeck says 50% of our coal comes from Russia. German economy minister Habeck said 55% of our gas from Russia. German economy minister Habeck says 35% of our oil comes from Russia.
Sad when Germany makes a massive oil and gas deal with Russia, where you're supposed to be guarding against Russia, and Germany goes out and pays billions and billions of dollars a year to Russia. So we're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting all of these countries, and then numerous of the countries go out and make a pipeline deal with Russia, where they're paying billions of dollars into the coffers of Russia. So we're supposed to protect you against Russia, but they're paying billions of dollars to Russia, and I think that's very inappropriate. And the former chancellor of Germany is the head of the pipeline company that's supplying the gas. Ultimately, Germany will have almost 70% of their country controlled by Russia with natural gas. So you tell me, is that appropriate? I mean, I've been complaining about this from the time I got here. It should have never been allowed to.
All right, you heard that little tidbit from Trump. I never saw this. And he sounded like he made sense. All right. They lied to us about Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Vietnam, North Korea, Iran, Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, Haiti, Cuba, Panama, Nicaragua. But they're telling the truth about Ukraine. Y'all need to look back into those situations, y'all, especially the recent one we all grew up dealing with, Afghanistan and Iraq. And recently Libya too. That happened during Obama, but okay. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, U.S. biolaboratories in Ukraine, deadly virus and threat for population. America has allocated more than $2 billion to finance secret biological laboratories in Ukraine, and only the Americans have the exclusive right of access to the experiments carried out there. The Ukrainian authorities stubbornly hide even the existence of these laboratories, and people panic because of outbreaks of unknown diseases. So how protect all these premises from the leakage of dangerous viruses? And that's from Ukrainian source. So I'm going to read this to y'all. All right, foreign laboratories. Oddly enough, for the first time, talks about American laboratories in Ukraine started abroad. 3 years ago, the Serbian newspaper Pichat published an article, "Why is the U.S. turning Ukraine into a biological bomb?" It says about the laboratories built in Ukraine in 2014 through 17, it seems that only Americans work there and the Pentagon finances them. This information was picked up by Russian and Bulgarian media. The latter concluded their own investigation in 2018, and they counted 11 secret laboratories in Ukraine through which dangerous diseases spread. I told y'all about this yesterday. And you know they're not, and you know our media is not going to tell us this. Our country is a propaganda machine that causes chaos across the world. And who suffers from it? We suffer from it. Innocent people over there suffer for it. But guess what? The rich and the elite, they about to get paid. All right, let's read. They go to the next one. Sound out just in case. And y'all see, I don't know how. Okay, I stopped it. All right. Now you see they've been paying all these people, paying the Ukraine, getting them loans and stuff. All right, let's go. Canada announces official signing a second $200 million loan to Ukraine. And you see U.S. signs $1 billion loan to Ukraine. Poland did the same thing. They all giving money to this country. Ain't that strange? All right. And excuse me, y'all. I'm chewing.
Being killed or captured and put on some sort of a show trial, would President Biden send U.S. troops in on a rescue mission to get him out?
Again, we are in touch with President Zelensky, who is an important partner. We support him, he's the leader of Ukraine, the president of Ukraine, but I'm not going to get into security steps.
If
Now, you heard that little report. I'm not going to read it, but basically ain't nobody helping them. Ain't that crazy? All right. Let's see. All right. All right, this one 17th Soldier. According to history, 30 years ago, George Bush, the reason the U.S. got no choice but to step to Russia now. All right, Sean King, the fake black man, wrote, let me teach for a minute and explain how catastrophic this betrayal was. 30 years ago, Ukraine was the third largest nuclear power in the world. That's power. And it's how many countries now protect themselves from outside invasion. And under great pressure from the United States, Ukraine gave up all of those weapons in exchange for an agreement to protect them if they were ever in danger. It's called the Budapest Memorandum. Excuse me for saying mispronouncing that. It's literally signed by the U.S. government. Google it. And now, as the country is under attack and has no nuclear weapons, the United States and other countries that pledged to protect Ukraine ghosted them. This is why other countries around the world are desperate to get nuclear weapons and expand their arsenals. It appears to be the only thing that keeps warring natures away. True. All right, this article is from 1992. It was before social media and memes, so a lot of your favorite pro-black niggas don't know this. Ukrainian President Leonid Kravchuk met with President Bush on Wednesday and said he intends to sign the START agreement calling for cuts in nuclear weapons. The former president also said all short-range nuclear weapons will be removed from his country by July 1st. In Moscow, General Sergei, a top official of the Commonwealth of Independent States Defense Ministry, said the last tactical nuclear weapons were en route from Ukraine to Russia. Easing the nuclear tension between Russia and Ukraine was high on the agenda of the meeting between Bush and the former Ukrainian president. As the two leaders sat side by side in the Oval Office, the former president was asked if he would sign START. I think he will, replied the Ukrainian president. He said he and Secretary of State James A. Baker III had been discussing the treaty, and if something is left out, we will negotiate it out today. On it today. Under the treaty signed last July, the Soviet Union agreed to one-third reduction of its long-range missile bomber submarines. The collapse of the Soviet Union complicated the issues because of the long-range missiles were on the territory of 4 different independent states: Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. The administration now is attempting to convince Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Belarus to sign onto the treaty and agree to transfer a large number of ICBMs to Russia for destruction. The former president opened his newly independent country's first Washington embassy Tuesday and said he and Bush had no major differences on nuclear arms. Bush and the former president are planning to sign an agreement that will send U.S. Peace Corps volunteers to Ukraine, also encourage increased trade. Let me hurry up. Okay. The former president said last week the Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Belarus should become a party to the Strategic Arm Reduction Treaty, along with the United States and Russia. So basically, the Republicans under Bush promised to protect them and disarm them. Now Republicans and their dick riders blaming Biden. You can't make this up. They're from a different standpoint, and stuff do. I ain't gonna knock it. Republicans do be messing up stuff, and we pay for it decades later. All right. Let me hurry up. I don't want this video to be too long. Okay.
Reporting to be an exchange between Ukrainian soldiers defending an island in the Black Sea, cussing at a Russian warship before being killed in battle. I want you to listen to this.
противном случае по вам будет нанесен бомбово-штурмовой удар. Длинный остров. Я русский корабль. Повторяю. Предлагаю сложить оружие, сдаться
Ukrainians.
Y'all saw that, y'all. Okay, let's go to something else. All right. Second to last bit. I know the video a little bit long, y'all, but this is information we need to know. All right, the current president of Ukraine has changed out of his suit and into hunting gear. His government is handing out thousands of rifles and showing their people how to make Molotov cocktails. Message for Vladimir Putin: buckle up. Hashtag Ukraine. I'm on Raspberry Raw post. Why this nigga looks just like he could be a TV actor? Oh wait, he is, LOL. And he played the president before becoming the president. That's a Ukrainian president. All right. Volodymyr, I'm not about to say all that. He is a Ukrainian politician, former actor, and comedian who had been serving as the president of Ukraine since 2019. Before he was elected, the current president of Ukraine was an actor on the show called Servant of the People, where he played the role of the president of Ukraine on TV. And that's something, though. That's kind of weird in a way, but, they could say that about Trump and everything like that. But, some things are planned. They were very cut and dry. They just seem very coincident. You played the president on this TV show, and now you are the president of this country, and y'all in this hoopla. All right. Breaking. NATO has activated its NATO response force, marking the first time in history that the alliance will use it in a deterrence and defense role. Up to 40,000 troops could arrive in Central Eastern Europe in a few days. 8,000 of them will be U.S. soldiers. All right, y'all. All right, so that's all the information that I've seen today. And they finna get ready to gear up and ramp this up even more. And here go my thing too. In a sense, I don't think Russia the full villain. Like overall, all of them are villains for real. To be honest, because innocent people are being affected by this. But if all these things talking about U.S. Biolabs and only Americans seem to be working there and financed by the Pentagon, yeah, another country, especially on my border, another country will be offended by that and want to go to war or go do something about that. Because guess what? We had this whole situation with Wuhan, and we look where we in now. Who in the world want another situation and another plague hit Europe and then come over here because y'all sitting here having these secret biolabs testing out weaponizing viruses? So for real, America is the real terrorist, and y'all better hope and pray that nobody comes over here and attack us, because at the end of the day, it's a reckoning, even though we don't have anything to do with it. But the fact is we got these politicians and these fools and these imbeciles in office, and they just go about doing stuff, making laws and passing resolutions that is destroying us. Look how we living now. All right, y'all, I'm sorry the video a little long, but I just wanted y'all to know what's good and what's going on. And don't let the media manipulate you, because they're trying to full out make Russia the villain when we don't know what's really going on in Ukraine. And we just found out they got hidden biolabs, y'all, 11 of them. So how long have they been doing that? They've been doing that since 2014, and we didn't know nothing about it. And we just found this out. And Putin said something about this last year. But we were so busy during the pandemic, Biden and them threatening people jobs and livelihoods over these mask mandates that is being overturned all over this country. So, they made a plan, it kind of failed, and now we got to do this little war to distract people from the fact that this virus ain't killing people the way they thought it was. And then on top of it, people are recovering and living with COVID, as they supposedly saying. But we've been living with it since 2019. All right, y'all, this Outtakes Great. Please like, share, comment, and please hit that notification button. I hate saying that, but I cuss, I say this, and the algorithm gonna be funny. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Stay informed and enjoy y'all weekend. So long.